Sometimes they are, and sometimes they're not. Welcome to this episode of Am I the Asshole? Our first one is from Lovey Lee. Am I the asshole for not waking up a tourist who overslept and missed the day trip she paid for? Hi guys, I'm 21 female, a Bulgarian tour guide who accompanies groups to Sicily. On a recent trip, one woman who was traveling alone, mid-30s, was consistently oversleeping. The first day after we arrived, we had a day trip to Etna and Taormina, which we depart at 8 a.m., as we do all other day tours. I make sure that all tourists are informed of the departure times on the bus the day before, and they also have my number to call in case they forget so I can remind them. They also all have printed out pamphlets with the schedule made by the travel agency that I hand out that has the time for departure on it. All of the group was on time, except one woman. She was late by 10 minutes, which, okay, maybe she got caught up in something and was late. I excused it, then mentioned to the whole bus in the mic that I do not tolerate lateness beyond 15 minutes at most, in case of emergency like a forgotten possession, and that I must always be called and informed in case someone is running late. Trip went by okay otherwise. The next day, this same tourist was late again, by 25 minutes, almost an entire half hour. I called her twice to no answer, and we were just about to leave without her when she came out running and got on the bus. She got lucky, as the receptionist of the hotel asked me about a missing piece of info on the rooming list, and earned her some time. I reminded everyone, again, that I will not be waiting anymore for late tourists in the morning, and waking up on time is their responsibility. When we came back that evening, she asked me if I could make sure to wake her up on time. I reminded her a third time that I'm not responsible for waking people up. Everyone gets a printed itinerary with departure times, and I announce everything the day before. She kept saying, No, just knock on my door if I'm not out by 8:15. And I kept repeating, I really can't do that for everyone. Please set an alarm. Well, on the day we were visiting Syracuse, she didn't show up. I waited 15 minutes after the supposed departure time, called her twice to no response, then left with the bus and the rest of the group. She called me in a panic about an hour later asking where we were. I explained the situation calmly. She got angry and said that I had one job and that I cheated her out of the money she paid to go on that day trip. She missed the whole day trip and was furious the next day. Later, she told the rest of the group that I abandoned her and also called my agency, leaving a bad review about me. Am I the asshole for not personally waking up a grown woman despite warning her multiple times I wouldn't? Edit. I talked to my manager today. I was nervous at first because I was already tired of this whole shenanigan and didn't want to spend ages defending myself. So I went to him first and explained the situation before he approached me. He told me, word for word, "Hun, I deleted that BS from my email as soon as I read it." An icon! They'll remove the bad review. Number 1, it's definitely not the tour guide's job to make sure all of the tourists are awake and attending things on time. Number 2, if this lady was able to call the tour guide, then you'd think her phone most likely had an alarm she could have set but just refused. I'm glad the OP had a good boss though. Definitely not the asshole. And our final one is by Outrageous Walk 9413. Am I the asshole for siding with my boyfriend when my sister and brother-in-law tried to take over my business? My sister and I had a falling out, and my husband and I want to know if we should apologize or just move on. I've been running a business for quite a few years now, and it was small, but I never really tried to make it anything big. I was content just getting by and doing something I enjoyed. Eventually, I started dating someone who had the time, energy, and resources to start helping me grow. He rebranded my business and it grew. It was fun, and eventually I got my partner more involved. He went to a trade show with me and we got an idea together to grow the business more. My boyfriend had a great idea and included my sister and her spouse because we thought it would benefit them financially and bring us closer together. Big mistake. Even though my boyfriend and I each invested about 50% into the expansion, and my sister and her stay-at-home husband invested nothing, it wasn't long before they started telling everyone it was their business. I would talk to people who would tell me they talked to the owners, which was funny to me because it was actually my boyfriend and I who risked everything financially to purchase the expansion and grow it. We just invited them to come along for free. And we even gave my brother-in-law a job because he had been unemployed for years. It went downhill from there. My boyfriend and I aren't big on attention, so we didn't really care that people thought my sister and brother-in-law owned the business. But then they started giving their friends huge discounts, sometimes free, and doing it without our consent. On top of all that, my boyfriend and I found out that my dad, who handled accounting, was paying my brother-in-law double what we discussed for working for our company. All of this was without our knowledge. Meanwhile, my boyfriend declined to take a salary for all of the work he was doing for what was now our business, even after he had invested his own personal money into it. I got upset enough and tried talking to my sister, and my boyfriend tried talking to my brother-in-law, but things quickly fell apart. My brother-in-law started telling my boyfriend he wasn't going to do parts of the job, so my boyfriend and I took on all the work, while brother-in-law was making a double salary, and my boyfriend was taking nothing. I didn't even increase my salary while we were trying to grow. We realized maybe inviting them to join us was a mistake, but we truly had the best of intentions. We tried to find ways to talk to them, but they got passive-aggressive. And recently, my boyfriend finally told brother-in-law to go fuck yourself. Anyway, he said that he would, and now they're no longer working for us. My parents have sided with my sis and brother-in-law, but they haven't heard our side. This whole situation hurts because my sister's always been my BFF, but I can't figure out what we did. We have asked, but at this point, they're only rallying the troops against us. I've tried to talk to my sis, who won't respond. I want to protect my partner, and I think he was justified after having dealt with my brother-in-law's bad attitude for weeks. If we did something wrong, I want to apologize. I fail to see how OP or her boyfriend could be the asshole in any way, shape, or form. Like, this makes no sense from the sister and brother-in-law's point of view. Like, they were literally handed a golden opportunity and they just shit it away. To try to turn people against OP and her boyfriend, like, that's just absolutely asinine and shows that they're the true assholes, not the OP or her boyfriend. Alright, that's enough stories for the day. Well, that wraps up this episode of Am I the Asshole? If you liked the video, please drop a like, share my content on all of your social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload, and drop a comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm and helps new people find my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks to my patrons and super thanks contributors. Have a great day and stay safe out there.